we're here with head coach Ian Brophy as I look forward to a pair of challenging games to start out the regular season. The regular season's here. We got Oklahoma on Wednesday. You've got LSU on Sunday. Um, First, I'll just ask you, what did you learn about your team during the exhibitions?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've learned a lot about our team. We've learned a lot about the depth we have. We are a really strong team in how deep we are. So I think that's really exciting. It's something to come away from the preseason. I think being really strong in possession and defensively is something that's come out of it as well. Maybe stronger than we thought, and as much of a goal scoring threat as we think we are, I think sometimes we know we have to um, make sure we do the right things and play our way in order to get the goals and get the right rewards. So yeah, I think we've learned a lot through this preseason, and I think we're excited to take it into the real games now.
And now this is a completely different team than it was last year.
Yeah.
But you do have 17 players returning. Does it give you a little bit more confidence going into Oklahoma? Because after what you did to start out the last regular season and go on the road and beat Texas?
I definitely think there is a lot of confidence in the group. I think that having all those returners that were a part of that, of beating Texas last year, it just gives us a little bit of maybe a lack of fear going into the game, and certainly a feeling that we belong and that we know we can play at this level. And so I think the reality is just us approaching the game, and if we can execute and do the right things, we know we'll be in it.
What's kind of funny is Texas. Texas is probably one of Texas's biggest rivals is Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and you start with them on Wednesday night. I mean, what the man? It's obviously going to be a really difficult game.
Yeah.
A power conference team, SEC team. Um, what do you say? What can you say about them?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really tough matchup for us. They're going to be extremely athletic, good on the ball. They're going to have good players in every position. So we know we're in for a tough night and a tough matchup. But we've played these types of teams before. We kind of know what it's about. And again, we can't focus too much on them, and it's about focusing on ourselves and executing the things that we want to do. And if we do that, we should be okay. But it's going to be tough to get a result, but at the same time, we know that everything's in front of us, and based on what we did last year and the way this team is this year in preseason, we know we can fight for a result and make anything happen. And we beat Texas last year. Who's to say we couldn't beat Oklahoma this year? But we know it's going to be tough, and we're going to have to execute and do the right things.
And looking ahead to your second game against LSU on Sunday, LSU obviously a really difficult opponent
Yeah.
again. They beat Houston Christian, I believe, in the NCAA tournament
Yep.
in the first round last year. Um, what can you say about them? Another really difficult opponent.
Yeah, I think they're ranked in the top 20 in the country this to start the season. So we know we've got a tough opponent, similar to Texas last year where they were ranked 19. I think LSU just got ranked 16. So I think we're really excited for kind of the matchup and what it can provide for us. Again, another team we're really familiar with though in LSU, the team that we've played a lot, played them over the last few springs, and we've had some really good matchups and some good games. So I think we're excited to see it in a real fall match, which we haven't done since my first year here, and that was a good game, ended 2-1. So I think again we're looking for a really competitive match against a team we're familiar with, but that can work doubly. They're familiar with us too, so I think we've just got to make sure that we're executing and we're playing our way. And again, that's another game we feel like we can be competitive and maybe get a result. So I think it's about showing up with the right mentality. And again, we don't fear anyone. We've just got a healthy respect for what we're going up against. But I think we know that if we do the right things, we can come out of here with wins.
Yeah, what's the importance of playing against these two teams? Obviously, it's kind of a good measuring stick for where you are as a team going into I don't want to say easier opponents, but opponents not in the. You've got one more against Houston against the power conference team, but then you go the rest of the schedule, I believe, is against non-power five conference.
Yeah, really, that was one of the reasons we're so excited to get LSU on the schedule, even given their tournament appearance last year and beating HCU in the tournament. Like, that's a team, if we make the NCAA tournament, that we could end up facing. So to have that experience against them is so crucial. But yeah, it definitely helps us in terms of our prep for the rest of the season as well, because I do think when we get through these 3-4 games, even against ULL after Houston, it really starts to settle in, and it really will be about us getting to play the same way, but keep that high intensity like we're playing Oklahoma and LSU and Houston. And if we can do that in those next few games and bring that into conference play, I think that should serve us really well in conference play. And that's the goal of scheduling these tough games early. If we can execute what we want to do against these teams, then we know once we get into that later schedule of the non-conference and conference play, we should be able to execute well and rack up some wins.
As always, thank you, Ian.
Thank you.